Good morning and welcome back to Community Connections. I am Dawn Lowe, Executive Director for the Greensburg-Decatur County Chamber of Commerce. Fitting that we just heard the story, Where Are You Christmas? I think it is sneaking up right around the corner. We are just a couple of weeks off, and we are going to pack some more events in yet here in the month of December before Christmas happens. So mark these on your calendar and feel free to join us. Next Tuesday, we have a Lunch and Learn. We are going to feature marketing guru Kate Akra from Visit Greensburg, and she's going to teach us how to market smarter with Google reviews. Join us Tuesday, December the 9th from noon to 1 for that Lunch and Learn. Registrations can be found online at www.greensburgchamber.com. That event is free for chamber members, just $10 for a potential member, and we do need you to register so we know how many to expect. Also coming up is the December Leaders and Loggers, and that is going to be our holiday mix and mingle. Come join us on Tuesday, December the 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. at 116 East Washington Street. That's the location of the Tap on the north side of the downtown square. We are very gracious and very thankful to Tricia and her staff for hosting us each third Tuesday for Leaders and Loggers. The holiday mix and mingle, again, will be 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, December the 16th. That event is free and open to the public. And this morning on Community Connections, we're going to be speaking with Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Columbus, Indiana, General Manager John Riley. Next up on Community Connections, we're going to have a chamber update. So we're going to take a look back at the year and talk about all of the new members that we've seen, the ribbon cuttings that we've hosted this year, and just kind of getting our feels and look back over the year of 2025 and all of the things that we've been able to be a part of. Coming up in 2026, I know that sounds like a long way away, but I think we're just about 3 weeks out. We have got a couple of dates marked on our calendar, so we want you to go ahead and mark yours as well for Saturday, February the 7th. That is our Ag Day breakfast. We will be featuring a couple of very notable speakers. More information to come out on that soon. Keep watching our social media for that. But Saturday, February the 7th from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., we will be hosting the Ag Day Breakfast at the Red Barn at Next Generation. That's located at 335 Smith Road. Tickets for that event and sponsorships alike will both be on sale shortly. So again, keep watching our social media for more information on that. Last year, I think we had, if I remember correctly, about 260 attendees. So it was an amazing gathering of our ag community, our local agribusinesses, local family farms. We had a lot of our children that were available from the FFA groups from all three of our local schools here. So a really great turnout, and we hope to see you again in February 2026. Also, we have the legislative update. The 2026 legislative update will be held on Friday, February the 20th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. That event we would appreciate registration for. We will have, again, more information coming out on that soon, but go ahead and mark your calendar for Friday, February the 20th. That event will be free and open to the public with a light lunch served. And again, this morning in studio with us, we have Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Columbus, Indiana, General Manager John Riley. Welcome, John.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. That was packed full.
It was.
Of events.
We're trying to wrap up the year, and we just keep packing more in it.
I know. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm here is to figure out how Coca-Cola can be more involved in these events. So it's just amazing what's going on and everything that I'm seeing that's going on in the community that you have here is very intriguing to me. So thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. We are so excited to have you. We actually just got to see you just recently at our 2025 annual dinner held at Into the Woods. And I want to talk about that night for just a minute. We had you and your team with us at the 2024 annual dinner, and I will never forget this moment. So if you've not attended our annual dinner before, we start off with a little bit of an introduction, a little bit of a recap about different things that we've participated in throughout the year. We talk about our new members, we talk about ribbon cuttings, large events that the business community has been a part of. We have the meal, and then we transition into the awards portion. And in that awards portion, we give an award for the Entrepreneur of the Year, the Don Horan Community Leader of the Year Award, an Ambassador of the Year, and then we award our small business grants. And that program has grown over the course of the last several years, and we are super blessed to be able to offer a couple of different small business grants. That is all done through an application process. The businesses write to us, they apply for a grant. We were able to offer $1,500 grants this year. And throughout that time in the 2024 annual dinner, you came up to me afterwards and you said, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
You said that was so cool.
It was.
Talk to me a little bit about the 2024 event and what you saw that night.
So, number one, I've been really blessed to be a part of Coca-Cola and the ownership that is there. It's been family owned and operated since 1916. And the reason why I'm bringing that to light is for the fact that the ownership has been very giving to the community. So they've almost given me the green light, like, how can we help?
That's awesome.
Because most people think they see the Coca-Cola sign or the logo or whatever, they think big corporation.
Right.
But we have 45 employees. I mean, we're super small.
Right.
We're doing a lot with very little, and honestly, I wear about 1,000 hats. But one of those hats that I've been given the green light is, how can we serve the community that we serve, that supports us? You know, how can we support them? And so I knew that I wouldn't have any backlash over that. Number one, it was very touching. The way that you did it inspired me.
Thank you, yeah.
We're sitting there and people think they're doing what I'm doing right now, and then they get kind of like hit with it, and to see how much that meant to them, just because they knew that they had the support of the community, and we know, even though we have some advantages maybe other small businesses don't, being that we have a franchise with Coca-Cola, we know how hard it is to make it.
Right, exactly.
And so I was inspired by really the customer that you were surprising, you know, the business that you were surprising, and the joyful tears that they had when they got that. And I said, how can we be a part of that?
Absolutely.
And so, and the event itself was just spectacular. It was fun. You know, it was very nicely put on. We had it at a different place this year, and I think that's how you do it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we get to move it around the county and feature a couple of our different chamber member event venues, which is always fun for us to be able to showcase those spaces. But you held true to your word. You came back in 2025, and we actually asked you to come on stage with us. Yeah. And you were against your will, maybe, but it was great. But you came on stage with us, and Coca-Cola was able to present one of the small business grants, and that this year went to Rivera Screen Printing, Bev and Jamie Rivera. Rivera Screen Printing, and so talk a little bit about
we haven't made the actual connection yet, but one of the big things that we like to do as well is support, you know, local businesses. So, you know, we have you know, there's a bottling process where they have all these contracts laid out and things like that we can go get discounts on this or what have you, but you might be getting it from Missouri or you might be getting it from California or something like that. And our ownership has said, hey, even if it costs just a little bit more money, we'd rather get it local.
Nice.
And so we've been looking for ways, and we do have, you know, contracted rights to be able to have, you know, our logos printed on different things. It's just we just got to make sure we're doing the right things, but we've been looking for local places to be able to do that, especially when we tie in. We give, like, you know generic kind of Coca-Cola things for like after prom, but how cool would it be to link up with somebody that does business with the school to get their logo on it and get our logo on it and make it something special for that event with you know, the date on it or what have you. We've also been looking for like some sort of local portal to where we can have our folks, you know, go online and order their own gear, you know, or maybe fund that for them, you know, as a special or something like that. So, you know, it really, because I was like wondering how that was going to line up. I definitely said I didn't want it to be a Pepsi account, but I know I didn't have much control over that, but it really did kind of line up. Now, we haven't made the actual connection, but the plan is that in 2026, we want to work with them to kind of do that, especially here locally, and even if it broadens out, you know, more into the Columbus area, depending. because we'd like to maybe make some sort of connection, there or in Edinburgh or Hope or wherever we can help support. But we do have, all the school systems here in Greensburg, are Coca-Cola accounts.
Okay.
And so that meshes very well with how we want to kind of support them and support another local business. And it might have been an accident, might have been on purpose. I don't know, but it worked out very well.
That's very cool. I love the stories. I said that night I walked off of that stage after the awards were finished, and not only yours, but I had heard probably 3 to 5 different business encounters that were taking place throughout the room, just that evening alone. And not that that's what that evening is intended for. It's intended to be an evening of celebration, of reflection. But that gathering that happens is always so unique and intentional when we're able to bring a lot of chamber members together. And so very, very cool that you got to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And we want to again thank you for that support through that small business grant.
Yeah,
So
we look forward to doing it again.
Appreciated.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll have you back.
You heard it. It's on radio, YouTube.
It's locked in.
It's locked in.
It's locked in. Well, let's go back to, you mentioned a couple of other outlying areas. So talk about the service area for Coca-Cola of Columbus.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of interesting. There's some outliers that we are trying to maybe talk with one of the bigger bottlers that we could maybe get some more territory. But when it comes to getting territory, it's not as easy as you think it might be. In 1916, they bought this small territory. It's been the same since then, for $1.99. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been. I can't do that 1916 math, but I'm sure that's enough
incredible.
Back then.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's like really wow.
Yeah.
So almost 125 years for $1.99. So it's really. When you talk about counties, it's definitely Bartholomew County. We have all of Bartholomew County. But then, after that, we kind of look at cities. So Edinburgh, Camp Atterbury, Princess Lake kind of area right there, Nineveh. And then we go up to about the Flat Rock exit from 65. And then we come into parts of Decatur County here, which would be all of Greensburg. And then it kind of varies in between there. So, we go out to Westport. Hope is ours. And then we don't go any further than let's call it the Oglesville exit.
Okay.
There off of 65. So we do, believe it or not, we do a little over 1 million cases just in that area. And I won't get into the whole per caps, but when you talk about larger bottlers, our per caps are probably 100 more than them. So when I say per caps, it's how many drinks are being consumed of Coca-Cola products in a particular area per household.
Okay.
And so we see the support, and we wouldn't be able to exist without that support. And so we want to do more with that. And I guess one of the reasons why I'm here is because when you talk about Coca-Cola, people get it, but they don't really know what else is Coca-Cola.
Right. Yeah,
And
so tell us.
So, I mean, there's so many things. I think most, what we call it the sparkling, but pop, I think most people kind of get it when they go to the grocery store. You see Coca-Cola, and pretty much the next, 16 feet, you kind of figure is, Coca-Cola items like Fanta and Fresca and, all the different Diet Cokes. You kind of get it, Sprite. But when you get outside of that, it gets very confusing. People are like, that's a Coke product?
Right.
Gold Peak Tea.
Right.
People are like, I love Gold Peak Tea. You know what I mean? Well, that's us.
And that's a Coke product, yeah.
When you start talking about the isotonic category, which sports drinks,
that's a big word.
Yeah. But your sports drinks is Powerade and Body Armor. And people were like, I love Body Armor. And nothing against Gatorade. Gatorade invented the sports drink category, right? But when you're at the grocery store and you're thinking, okay, do I want Gatorade, or is it something like we benefit from, can I have a Coke? When people talk about a cola, they normally say Coke.
Coke, correct.
And I feel like that's kind of the way it is
term.
with Gatorade is I want a sports drink. You know what I mean? They don't really care if it's Gatorade or Powerade.
Right.
They just want to something to rehydrate themselves. And so what I'm kind of getting at is, like, if you buy Powerade, chances are you buying that Powerade, some of that money is going to go back into the community.
Right, absolutely. Versus
Pepsi, which is not doing that. And it's unique because, again, this is not like they are my competitors or whatever, and they do things throughout the community, right? But we can be more laser focused because we have this small area. Right. So Pepsi is a corporation. There's a few family-owned ones left, but when you're talking about percentage-wise, it's like 98% of Pepsi is corporate. And so they're going to look on how they support on a very high level.
Correct.
Where here, us being local, it's like, we got a car show going on. How can we help? Right. You know what I mean? Right. Getting something like that out of Pepsi or even Dr. Pepper would be tough because they too are also a corporation. And so I don't want to bore anybody with it, but pretty much every Coca-Cola is family owned and operated. Some are just a lot larger than others based off of how our system was born. They were born after us. And so we have like this association that kind of buffers what's going on with the bottlers with the actual Coca-Cola who is selling the syrup to the bottlers to then go out and sell.
Gotcha.
And so whenever there's a re-territory or something, or somebody wants to sell off their stuff, it goes back into this big pot and everybody kind of bids for that territory again. And I think we tried to do that one time, but they were like, go big or go home kind of deal. And it was like, we didn't know if we were quite ready to go big. And so we still kind of stayed where we're at. But I like it because I don't have to worry about a Disney World I got to fill or a Lucas Oil Stadium or an IU college. You know, I mean, I can be, it's a blessing that I can be like at your event. Absolutely. Handing someone a $1,500 to help their business. So it's really cool. So, Monster is ours, Rain energy drink, Bang is ours as well. When you think about juices, think about Minute Maid, Minute Maid Juice to Go, Smart Water, Vitamin Water, Core Power, Fairlife Milk. It's all Coca-Cola. So
I had no idea that many brands were under the Coca-Cola umbrella.
We have 532 SKUs in our little building that was built in the 1940s, and we do 1 million cases off of one dock with 45 people.
That's 1 million wild. Cases a month?
It's a year.
A year. Okay.
If it was a month, then
I don't even know. My mind is like.
But when you think about it, I mean, a case of 20 ounces, 24 bottles, right? And so you've got to have people to put each one of those 24 bottles up.
Yeah.
Now, we're probably one of the only few vendors out there that is responsible for putting their own product up in majority of these stores. So that creates an issue. Now, some C-stores, convenience stores, they will help and participate in that because there's kind of a time gap of when we're actually in the stores. But we have small format merchandisers now, and we have one here in Greensburg that goes into these convenience stores and helps those stores fill their shelves, because if it's not on the shelf, it doesn't get bought. Sure. And here in this economy here lately, I don't want to get into weeds on that, but some of these convenience stores are having, one or two people versus, maybe 10 years ago they had 5, you know what I mean? So, things are getting, so those people are running the registers a lot. They don't have time to be in a cooler with nobody guarding the store. So, so we've taken it upon ourselves to take on that labor, which eats into our margins, let's be honest, to make sure that that's up on the shelf. And so it's definitely a struggle, but you can help us by, just being a little bit more knowledgeable. I mean, everybody's going to have their choice, right? Sure. I mean, and that's the great part about it. That's what keeps us competitive and keeps us trying to put out a good product or innovating. Absolutely. And
competition is good.
It is
not
good.
A bad thing. Yep.
It is good. But, when you just think about locally, like we're doing here, like what can we give back to a school or an event that's going on? And honestly, that's what I love the most about this job, is that I'm trying to build a culture. I've only been there, I'm going on my 4th year. Okay. But, I've come in and made a lot of changes. I've added 13 new jobs.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of costs associated with that. We went from about 750,000 cases on average, and now we're hitting over 1 million, Well, you need people to do that, right?
Of course, yeah.
And the more we make, the more that we want to give. I'm being serious on that. I mean, the cost to serve is very low. I mean, I don't want to go into all the metrics, but we're not making a whole lot of money off this stuff. I mean, people that sell our products are making more money off of it than we are,
Right.
by far.
Okay.
So, you know, but by being able to sell more, that's going to give us more in the pot to be able to help. And I'm trying to expand that out into Greensburg, where maybe we haven't done that as much, you know, in the past. But it's just, you know, basically educating people like how they can help us. It's kind of like a Jerry Maguire moment. Help me, help you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So by us buying Coca-Cola specific products,
Yeah.
then that helps you, and in turn, you are able to give back more to the community.
Yeah, I mean, and it, you know, it helps, you know, the local people that are
Sure.
here have jobs and good, you know, decent paying jobs. And it also helps us be able to expand that vat of what we're able to give. I mean,
Yeah.
because it's not endless. There are some funds. I mean, I'm trying to get more ahead of it than what we have in the past, because honestly, I've changed a lot of efficiencies and job titles and different things as I've gone along. And Coke's a big machine. It's hard to turn it. You know what I mean? It's a big ship.
Yeah.
Once it's
Yeah.
going, it's like it takes some effort. You know, so
It's moving.
and it doesn't stop. You know, no matter what, you know, personal stuff's going on or what have you. And I've been trying to manage and teach my folks that help me manage. You know, that we take care of our folks as individuals and not just a number and what have you. And that takes a lot more effort. But essentially, showing that and then showing how we're giving back to the community makes them feel more of a part of something. And it's true, because we're not really doing anything with what we're doing, but what we can do with it can make a big difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
in the end, it's just sugar water, and some of us really like our sugar water. We sell other healthier stuff like vitamin water and, you know, stuff like that, but
Right.
you know, you kind of get that label as Coca-Cola, like you're just a bunch of sugary drinks. It's not true, but you know, it's not just about refilling the shelf and all this. It's like, really, we just helped United Way. We're helping the homeless, you know, Turning Point Domestic Violence, you know, all these different places that we're helping and our folks, and we're sharing that now better with our folks, because I've helped upgrade like kind of the technology that was being used at our Coca-Cola facility to really get out that message, especially nowadays on how people are consuming messages. They're not just going to a pin-up board at the warehouse when, let's call it, 85% of your people never actually come to the plant.
Right,
They're out in the
right.
market. So,
Right.
you know.
So let's talk about. I mean, you've definitely made an absolutely amazing case that when we are supporting the Coca-Cola product, no matter whether it's the vitamin water or the Fanta or the Powerade, you were in turn able to help our community in some unique ways. So we possibly have listeners out there who are business owners and who might be with a Pepsi product. If they are already with a Pepsi product or don't have a product at all, how do they get your product in their store?
So the
Or
easiest,
restaurant or
well,
whatever
the
it may
easiest
be.
way to contact, and I'll let the secret out, but the easiest way to contact us is to go on columbuscoke.com, which we didn't even have a website 2 years ago.
Okay.
And it's been great for us, but there's a contact us form.
Okay.
I'll let the secret out. The contact form goes directly to me. Okay? So I make sure that it doesn't get missed. And I have those things particularly labeled so they hit the top of my inbox and don't go into junk or, you know, spam or whatever you call it. And I get it. So
Yeah.
that's the easiest way.
Okay.
All of our phone numbers are on there. But if you're wanting to open up an account, it's pretty simple. That's going to get the ball rolling. And then I'll get in contact with the people that need to contact them or make that connection.
You'll put the people together.
Yeah. And
Perfect.
then also in that same aspect, and maybe you're going to ask this next, but on that same website is the donation request form.
Okay.
So if you have an event that's going on that is in our service area. And sometimes I feel so bad, and I try to get them in contact with Consolidated surrounding us, and they're a great bottler. They're just really large. Right. And it gets kind of confusing on where that territorial line is.
Sure.
And then sometimes Columbus. I'm from Ohio, so there's another notable Columbus where they think they're maybe speaking to the Ohio one. But, I'll still reach out and say, hey, you got the wrong bottler. Let's try to connect you with so-and-so. But essentially, you just fill out that request form. They'll ask for any tax forms that you got, or like an event flyer to kind of give us that. It's not necessarily for like, I do get some like birthday party requests and things like that, but it's generally like, you've got a big event coming up, and we ask for 30 days, but if we get more than that, because now that I have created this website, I don't want to call it a consequence, but we're getting a lot of them now, and so it gets kind of hard to kind of keep up with it. But the earlier you're in, the best chance that we're going to be able to do something. And then again, I want to add this. We really haven't formulated how we're going to do it, but there's still like the option of like maybe you're in too late, but you still need some help. Maybe we reduce the cost, or so you don't have to go to like a Sam's Club, or you don't have to, maybe we don't have the funds right now to really do the full donation.
Gotcha.
But there's still, so I would suggest still submitting it in and what have you, even if it is kind of right up against the gun, because there's still may be a possibility that we can help out in some way, especially if, you don't have to go to 3 different places to pick up your drinks, and then you're worried about getting this or getting that. It's like, we've got them all. Like, you want water, we got it.
Yeah, you've got 532 SKUs in the warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, Dasani water would be what people, when people go and get like Ice Mountain or something in the half-liter, the little thin plastic bottles. I mean, we have that, in 32-pack and 24-pack. I mean, we can help out with that. Okay. So, and it gives us, a lot of times I can donate more water, and, Dasani's actually been reformulated. It doesn't have as much of an aftertaste that people thought it had before, and personally, I thought it had it too. It's a lot smoother and a lot clearer. So that gives us an opportunity to kind of get that back in people's hands and go, Dasani's pretty good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there is a kind of that little measure there that, I mean, we're still a business, right?
Of course.
But it's a good sampling opportunity, and it's a good way that we can also help support whatever event you're doing, because when you're doing an event, I mean, if you're saving $100 and you're saving time to not have to, go all these places to get all this stuff, I mean, it goes right back into something else that you can do at your event. So.
Absolutely. So columbuscoke.com, if you are looking to open an account, fill out that contact us request. Donation requests can also be found on that website as well. What about other social media?
So we are on Facebook. Okay. And again, Facebook is fairly loaded with other Coca-Cola, so it's Coca-Cola Columbus, Indiana. And so that one has really taken off. It's also the same thing over on Instagram. I don't know, maybe I need a younger, somebody that can go out there. We're trying to get, and maybe even Greensburg is interested in too, but we have all these C4 programs in Columbus, and I thought it would be really cool for, students that are in the media field to go out and shoot some videos, or go out and share some things, from football games or basketball games or volleyball or what have you, of people holding up Coca-Colas or, something like that. So we kind of have reached out to the high schools, and we'll probably do the same thing out here to probably, get some help with that, because it's just...
And they gain experience
it's,
the same time.
I mean, why not?
It's fun. Yeah.
So... but on there we do little giveaways and stuff. And one way now we're supporting, every week we give away a gift card to a local restaurant.
We have seen that. Yep. You are very active with that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's one of the things we've also given away, like a bike, and I really wanted to do it this year, but I couldn't find them. But last year it was so cool. Our advertising agency, we gave away one of these huge Coca-Cola stuffed polar bears.
Oh, right. Yeah.
For Christmas.
Yeah.
and they took it around town, and they visited like the library or a local restaurant, and the bear's like sitting there eating. It was kind of cool, but it really led up to suspense. Like people were like, I want this bear, and then be able to give it away right before Christmas. It was pretty cool, but I couldn't find another bear like that this year. So
we'll be on the hunt for
I still
bears.
kind of maybe want to do something for Christmas. So if you got any ideas after we get offline, maybe we'll still do something. But it's a lot of fun. We do student of the week and teacher of the month and things through another radio station. I'm sorry, but we put those up on there. So we really want to just like be able to share thoughts in the future. Again, we have to have somebody with some production value, and maybe it doesn't cost us a whole lot, but maybe to be able to spotlight a local business. I've seen a lot of cool things on your guys' chamber, on Columbus's chamber, and things where they're going in and being like, this is so and so, and
right.
But it would be cool for us to do that as well. Like that's my next like thought process, and it's like, how can we get them into these local restaurants? Because again, I just want to reiterate the fact that we're a local small business.
Yeah.
I get Coca-Cola is on the billboard outside, but we're struggling just like the rest.
Yeah. 45 employees, 4th generation family owned, and
it's
promoting a big brand.
It's and when you see the building there on Washington Street, it's a lot bigger than what it looks like from the front, because it expands into like 8 different places.
Right.
But basically that building was built in the 1940s. Forgive me if I don't know the history. If I had Hutch Shoemaker, the owner here, he would definitely be able to give it to you. Absolutely correct. But essentially, Bartholomew County wasn't very big pre the World War.
Right.
And so I think it was maybe like 18,000 people. And so they had the small bottler somewhere else where they were actually making, because we're all bottlers. We do not make anything in Columbus. We're distribution center, but if we wanted to start bottling again, we'd have every right to, but we can't. We don't have the space. But they used to bottle it here. In fact, you can still find people bring in the glass bottles where it says Columbus, Indiana on it, and it's really cool. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, you found one, man. They would want to give it to us or something. Like, we got like pallets of them. You hold on to that. It's kind of cool keepsake for folks. But then we also service Camp Atterbury, and Camp Atterbury was having a lot of soldiers up there, a lot of families. And the President of the United States put out I guess you would call it proclamation that no soldier would go without a Coke. So you went from running maybe 1 truck a day to sending like 5 to 10 up to the base every day.
Really?
Yeah. And so that building was like made out of necessity, right? Yeah. So they moved from the smaller facility, and then they built that warehouse that's now on Washington Street. And it's really cool when you go in there and you can kind of see the past, like where the big vat was, where all the water was held, and where all the syrup was held, and how it went through the cleaning process. Like I'm still like, what pipes do I need? What ones do I need to remove? But it's like still, it's like history. And
very
and you go in there, and it's got the old green brick, and the old service elevator, and there used to be a lab upstairs, and you kind of
sounds like Emily and I need to field
trip. It's really kind of cool to kind of see the maturation process, and there's a terrazzo floor in one part of it, and you can see where it was marked out where the old 1940 trucks would come and park and get loaded up, and then they'd go down these ramps. Well, now I have to pick through all that, right? Instead of a warehouse, it's normally just a square box. I have like 8 different rooms that we have to go in and out of and up ramps, and it's a challenge.
Right.
And then we only have the one dock, so we might have 4 or 5 deliveries ourselves for product to replenish our warehouse while we still have our trucks coming in needing to use the dock and unload and load.
To get product
so
out.
So there's still some potential for us to maybe expand that, but probably not move, just for the fact that unless we get more territory, we've already proven that we can service it out of that building. We just might need to make some adjustments.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, John, believe it or not, we are out of time.
Really?
Already. I know. I always say 30 minutes sounds like a lot until you get in here, and then it flies. But any last things that you want to talk about? Any new products coming out that might be on the horizon, or any fun things here locally that you're going to be involved with soon?
Well, number one, this is a great start for us, but we want to be a bigger part of Greensburg in 2026. We still have a lot of building to do here, and we still have a lot of work to do here, but this is a start. And so one of the things that I'm looking forward to is really figuring out how we can make these community connections.
Absolutely.
And try to help the city of Greensburg and outlying areas that we can service, or connect them with somebody that can help them. Just be a better community, because again, like I said, what we're doing is, but what we can do with it can be great. And so, there's some new stuff coming out, but I'm not at liberty to say on most of those right now. One I am excited about, and I can say, is that Powerade is bringing back Power Water.
Okay.
Which is kind of the Propel, competitor. And the thing that I'm really excited about is they did a really good job on the taste, for sure. So, like, every once in a while you come out with something and you're like, "Well, does it taste good?"
Right.
This one does, and
Cool.
I think it'll be another avenue to maybe where we can help in the sports arena.
Absolutely.
Around here.
Yeah.
Giving some other option for concession stands, some other healthier options for our athletes, and things like
I
that.
love that.
So,
yeah.
really excited about that, and just like I said, just building a better relationship with the city of Greensburg, and just I look forward to a bright future.
Well, we are super blessed to have you as a neighbor over in Bartholomew County, as a member of the GDC Chamber. You've been very involved with us for probably the last year and a half, 2 years now. And we look forward to helping connect you even further here in Decatur County and throughout the region. So
Great.
Thank you again for being a partner and being so giving. And with that, we want to wish you happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.
Yeah, and we will be back with Community Connections in a couple of weeks. With that, I'm Dawn Lowe from the Greensburg Decatur County Chamber. Thank you so much for joining Community Connections.